Hello and welcome to the Gorilla Man's Garage. We're in the office today and we're doing a recap or an update to my last video, which was all about purchasing the DJI Mini 3 over the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And I'll put a link up here as to that video, okay? And we're talking about how expensive it was and how much money I saved in Canada, or people in Canada would save from the Mini 3 versus the Mini 3 Pro, etc, etc, etc. Okay. As a side note to that, originally, if you were within Canada and you purchased from the DJI Store and you went to the checkout, this is what you would see. There's a taxation section. And the taxation section said that they were going to charge GST, which is goods and services tax, on the products that came from DJI imported into Canada. Well, there are no tariffs or duties on products like drones coming into Canada from outside. What there is a binder's fee or a brokerage fee from couriers that bring in products. Okay? Yes, there are some instances where you should be paying GST and some instances where you should be paying HST, and in Ontario, Canada, HST is the harmonized sales tax, which is a combination of GST and RST. It gets complicated, yes. What's RST? RST is retail sales tax. A few years ago, decade, whatever, they came out with a GST. They used to just have a provincial sales tax, a PST. Well, the government wanted to make more money, so they created GST, goods and services tax, putting them together into a harmonized tax. Like in Britain, they have the VAT, the VAT, okay? So here it's HST. Everything you buy pretty well, except for some foods, etc., you pay HST. And the combined GST and RST is, for Ontario, 13%. Okay? I believe it's 8% GST, 5% RST, whatever. It's 13%. Okay. Back to DJI. DJI said that when you checked out and you live in Canada, you have to pay GST. Okay. GST is not HST. So I sent communications to DJI explaining with pictures and screenshots that what they were doing was wrong. They sent back information saying they're allowed to charge they're allowed to charge 13% because the rules changed. Well, if you get anything from any other place like AliExpress, Banggood, overseas, whatever, you don't get charged anything. It does get complicated, okay? From the way I understand it, maybe somebody else can clarify this, but if a product is produced, manufactured outside of Canada, there's no import fees. If the product is produced outside of Canada, but is available in Canada, then you have to pay the taxes. In some cases it's just GST, in some cases it's HST. If you were importing a vehicle, it would just be GST, because you would pay the retail sales tax portion once you certify and register and change ownership of a vehicle. Okay? But the concept of a vehicle doesn't really transpose over to a drone. I know it's a UAV, but as far as imports go, it's really a motor vehicle or a boat, a motorcycle, things like that. So their wording of GST was completely wrong. So we went back and forth, and I got several emails saying, no, they're right, they can charge 13%, blah, blah. Well, in some respects, maybe they can charge 13%, because in the end, they have to pay GST, that portion, Plus they have to pay a brokerage fee. But they don't mention anything about brokerage fees. But you do. If you have anything coming in the country from couriers like DHL, which in Canada they give it to Canpar, or FedEx, things like that, they charge you a brokerage fee, an import fee. But they don't charge you GST, HST, all that kind of stuff. They just call it an import fee or a brokerage fee. Okay, so what did DJI do? We went back and forth many times. I think about 8 or 9 emails went back and forth. And I got a hold of the head customer service manager, the name of Tina Wang, I believe her name is. Very nice, very good, wanted to please me umpteen times, but came back with the same message. They're allowed to do it. I sent them all the information from Revenue Canada, from Canada government, blah, 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 blah. What did they do? They changed their website calculation policy for foreign exchange. And now, when you go to the site and you check out, it doesn't mention GST or HST. It simply says, and I'll put a slide up here, basically the relevant tax is imposed for your location and country and province, which in their eyes is 13%. So fine. It works out almost about the same, because if you put brokerage fees in there, it works out about the same. I know that if I was spending $4.99 on a drone, like a Hubsan drone, and it came through DHL or whatever, I'd be paying an additional $80, $90 Canadian. So the differences are minimal. But the fact is that through my persistence, I was able to change some wording for DJI. In all that confusion and aggravation for me, and them changing their website, they offered me a $65 US dollar rebate, which I said, that's fine. And that covers some of the expenses and some of the issues, etc., etc. Okay? So that's what happened with all that, and that took about a week and a half or so. So yes, I got the DJI Mini 3 combo package with the DJI RC. It arrived. I didn't pay anything else when it arrived, no brokerage fees or any of that, because I'm assuming that was all in the same package. They don't explain that, but it is what it is. Short end of the stick, conclusion on that, if you're in Canada, don't buy from the DJI Store now. Okay? Get it at Best Buy. Get it from AliExpress. Get it somewhere. If you do buy from AliExpress, you still have the same warranty because you're through DJI. Okay? Problem is, returning it for a refund is going to be an issue. Okay? But if you're returning for warranty and things like that, it goes through DJI and you don't pay for that. So that's a good thing. So in the end, really in Canada, it doesn't pay you anymore. It used to, because it used to be no charge when it came through. But now there is. Okay? So buy from AliExpress or buy from Best Buy, you pay the 13%, and it works out a little cheaper than going through the DJI Store. Okay? So buy at home, it's a little better. The only thing with the Canadian Best Buy, you can't open it. If you open it, you don't like it, you can't send it back. You can within 14 days. Okay? If it's opened and you check it out, you don't like it, you want to send it back, you have to pay a 35%, you have to pay a 15% restocking fee. So that gets very expensive. Okay? So that's about it as far as that goes. The next thing I want to talk about, and it kind of ties into this, is how much you're paying for these things. Now, DJI has told me that, well, there's a difference between the Canadian US dollar amount and the American US dollar amount. So if you're in the States and you buy a DJI product, it costs X amount of money. If you're in Canada, it costs a different amount of money. And you'll see that. On the DJI site, if you go up to the top right corner of the store, you'll see you can change from country to country or whatever. And if you go from Canada to US, the prices change. Now, strictly for the DJI Mini series, the new ones, the Mini 3s, let's go over that, okay? In the States, if you're buying and it's delivered in the States, let's say you want to buy the 3 battery combo pack of the DJI Mini 3, okay? Just the Mini 3, not the Mini 3 Pro, the Mini 3, $718. But if you're in Canada, it costs you $658 US dollars. But don't forget, you've got your provincial sales tax, your HST on top of that, okay? I don't know if they charge you taxes in whatever state you're in, but in Canada they charge you your sales tax for that province. If you're looking at the Mini 2 with the 3 battery pack and all that, it's $589 if you're in the United States. That same package in Canada is $479 US dollars if you buy in the DJI Store. So they're all different, except the DJI Mini 3 Pro. 3 battery pack with the N1 is $956? Let's get my glasses on here for a second. $948. So it's $948 for that package. In Canada, it's $948. So the explanation that DJI have that, well, the difference are because of tariffs and taxes and all this kind of stuff, doesn't hold water, because their DJI Mini 3 Pro is the exact same price. So I'm sure I'm going to be having that conversation back and forth in the next couple of weeks, okay? But just to let you know, there's all kinds of different places you can buy these things, okay? And let's take it one step further. What's the equivalent, the basic equivalent of the DJI Mini 3 Pro? The autelnano Plus? Okay, let's go with that one. The Autel Evo Nano Plus, 3 battery pack with the regular controller, okay, is $649. You can get that on AliExpress and some other places. $649. The DJI Mini 3 Pro, $948. Count them. $300 difference. Virtually the same camera. One uses RGB, one uses RYYB coloring, okay? They've both got obstacle avoidance. The Nano doesn't have NFZs. It also has all kinds of flying features like waypoints and all this kind of stuff. DJI Mini 3 Pro does not. So, where are you going to spend your money? Okay? I think DJI is pricing themselves out of the market on this model, the DJI Mini 3. And even when you go with the DJI Mini 3, in the States it's $718 for the 3-pack and the N1 controller. The Mini 2 is about $500. $220. Over $200 difference. And what's the difference between the Mini 2 and the Mini 3? A little bit better dynamic range in the camera because it's a bigger sensor. Okay? And really for the average person, you're talking 8-bit and 10-bit. The average person really can't tell the difference. And the average person really can't tell the difference between a 12 megapixel, 20 megapixel, 48 megapixel picture. Because really the 48 megapixel picture is a bumped up 12 megapixel picture. And I've done that experiment with Fimi. I've taken the 12 megapixel picture, blown it up to 8,000 by 6,000, check pixel to pixel, and they're the same. Do the same with a Mini 2. Take a picture, blow it up to size. The eye really can't tell the difference. Pardon me. The eye, you'd have a hard time. Yes, there is a difference, okay? And if you really scrutinize things, there is a difference. But the difference between the Mini 3 and the Mini 2, not really a substantial improvement, really. Okay, there are some slight ones, but the average person wants a travel drone to go around and fly around. You're not going to be flying in bad weather. You want to go around, you want to look at things, and you know, the follow me and tracking, that's great for some people, but for most people, you use it once or twice and that's it. It's more of a hassle than anything else. You just want to put it up, take a flight, have a look around, you know, follow some cars, get a train, do whatever, do an orbit around a building, whatever you want to do, okay? So really, is there a difference? The big difference is you can buy the DJI RC for the Mini 3, but it won't work with the Mini 2. Now it has been said that the DJI RC will only work in OcuSync 3 and up, or OcuSync 3. Obviously that's not true. And the DJI Mini 2 also runs in OcuSync 2. So are they going to put that into the DJI RC in the future? If they do, it's a giveaway, okay? But remember, back to the Mavic Mini days, the Mavic Mini, the Mini SE, and the Mini 2 all have the same camera. But DJI restricts the options that are available on the Mavic Mini versus the Mini 2, okay? And it's all marketing. It's all marketing. Just like Hubsan, when they came out with the Hubsan Zeno Mini, okay, the Hubsan Zeno Mini and the Hubsan Zeno Mini SE. The Mini has a 1/1.3 camera, but they've restricted its use to that of the Hubsan Zeno Mini SE. So you can't get the 48 megapixel, you can't get 60 frames per second, all this kind of stuff. It's capable of it, but they don't want to do it because they want to sell the Hubsan Zeno Mini Pro. There you go. It's all marketing, it's all leverage. It's like buying a phone, one little option here you can't get there, but you really want it, etc., etc., etc. Okay? Very confusing. It's all over the map. But anyway, that's my gripe for the day. Okay? Have a great holiday. It's coming up. I'm going to try and get a couple more videos out about what I did with the Hubsan, with the DJI Mini 3. Okay? Haven't flown it yet. I'm still going through everything. Got a bit of a hoarse throat. We had everybody over a couple of days ago, and my throat got hoarse from yakking and talking and drinking and eating. So there you go. But have a great holiday, and let's see if we can get some more videos out here about all these other stuff, like this. And boy, I've got something to say about this. Anyway, we'll see you later. Take care, and look after your loved ones. Bye now.